Good morning, and no, I'm not selling you plants this morning. I'm bringing you a very important message, one that's been coming through yesterday, and one that I know if I don't get out, my spirit guides and my angels and Mary Magdalene and high masters will just keep coming through to me until I do get this message out. So it's following on from the Twinflame telepathy in music, and also the messages and the signs we receive from our spirit guides, angels, higher masters, whoever is on our divine path with us. But yeah, so again a song, and again an Emily Sanders song coming through. Read all about it this time. Now, I'm used to this path. I'm used to the signs, the synchronicities, the songs, the meanings. I know when songs are on a constant loop in my head, and I know when spirits, downloading and wanting me to get a message across. So yeah, read all about it. And this song's about coming out of silence, speaking your truth and not feeling ashamed to be different or unique, in a world where society can, suppress the feminine voice. I'm on the Rose lineage path, hence why Mary Magdalene comes through to me, and other higher divine feminine masters come through. The Rose lineage path is it's the divine feminine rising, the energy of the divine feminine. It's coming back to us, it's returning to us. Not to suppress the masculine, no, they are not saying that. They're just saying that because of the patriarchy systems, the divine feminine energy was suppressed. Mary Magdalene's voice was suppressed for many lifetimes, she got silenced because her teachings held very, very powerful, very powerful spiritual knowledge for the world, and they didn't want us to know that. They didn't want us to hold that knowledge. That's why the silence happened and the suppression. But this song, let's get back to the song they're telling me. It's about having that voice to share with others, even when society might judge. And yeah, we do live in a society where we get judged, very much for being different, being unique, having spiritual gifts. Back in the ancient times, women with spiritual gifts was known as witches. There was not witches. That was just another suppression of the divine feminine energy. That was another control. That was patriarchy trying to control, because of the power we hold, because of our voices. We are very, very, very powerful spiritual beings. The divine feminine energy might be nurturing, might be loving. It is all of that unconditional love, but it's also very, very, very powerful, and it holds very powerful, knowledge that needed to be silenced. Back in those times. Those times are over now. We are in the new golden age. The suppression is no more of the divine feminine energy. It is rising. It is on the rise. It is here. Yes, let's get back to the song. So, it's about having that voice to share with others, having that courage, that bravery also. It takes a lot of bravery for me to come on this channel and speak of this hidden, this hidden sacred knowledge. It takes a lot of bravery and courage for me to speak of that. It takes a lot of bravery and courage for me to speak of my twin flame path, that I've endured for 7 years and still on it. And I say endured because anybody who's a twin flame or just starting out on their twin flame journey will know it's a path of endurance. You have to be very, very strong. You build yourself up so strong that nothing can ever break you again. This is this path. It forges you into that. You go into the fire to become that phoenix rising. And yeah, you become the voice for others. Hence why I've started my my channel. And hence, I'm sure that's quite an ancient word too, and I use that a lot. I'm going to look that up, but I'm pretty sure hence is part of my ancient knowing, I reckon. The ancient language, as well as my light language. Very ancient, the first language, the saying, the soul language. That was our language. That is our language of the soul. So yeah, this song, let's get back to the song. This is what happens when I come on. The channeling just flows. This is but yeah, I've done the automatic writing, so I've wrote it down from yesterday because I was so busy. But I knew this message was on a loop, and I knew they needed me to get it out. So that's why I automatic write, but I also channel during the readings. So yeah, empowerment song for females. And it's about voicing your true voice, not the one that society says we should all have. And it's about not being silenced anymore. It's about knowing our worth and our not that the silence is no more. Our voice deserves to be heard. Our uniqueness deserves to be heard and shared with others. So then it creates that ripple effect. And this is what I'm doing with my channel. I'm creating that ripple effect. I'm with my twin flame journey. I've seen that ripple effect, how it moves to how it grows and grows and grows, how I've grown spiritually because of my healing I've done, my balancing out of the divine feminine, divine masculine, because of the healing I've done and the spiritual practice I've done, and going into my shadows and alchemizing all of that and balancing my two energies out in self. Then I found my voice. It's the voice that was always inside of me. It was just hidden. It was suppressed. It is now, ready to be spoken to who needs to hear it, and yeah, create that ripple effect for others. So yeah, it's about empowerment song. It's an empowerment song. It's about finding your voice. And the lyrics, heart as loud as a lion and the light to fight the shadows. Now, heart as loud as a lion. Yes, that is me. I'm a Leo. I have a heart as big as anything. I give. I overgive at certain points, on in my life. I was an overgiver. I am not an overgiver now. I have boundaries. I have emotional boundaries. That came with all my healing. That came with healing my wounds, going into my dark night, going into my kundalini, purging all that I no longer needed to hold on to. This lifetime was my lifetime where my soul awoke. And the time is now. That's all I get through. The time is now. From my guards, they say the time is now, and the time is now for this new golden age. We are in the new golden age, the new earth. So yes, the same ground. This is how the energies get very, very heightened. So yeah, heart as loud as a lion. Yeah, you do have to have a heart as loud as a lion. You have to have that courage, that bravery, what a lion holds, to walk this path, with your head held high, knowing that this is your divine path, even when others are against you, you know, society has their beliefs, they push that on you. You have to be brave and courageous enough to know yourself. Know thyself, they are saying. To know thyself is to know thy own heart, she is saying, Mary Magdalene. To know thyself is to know thy own heart. Okay? And everything is from the heart. You know, we are the heart, she's saying. Everything comes from the heart. That unconditional love comes from the heart. So, yes, let's get back to the lyrics. So, heart as loud as a lion, without a doubt. You need that on this path. You need it in, you know, in abundance. You need that in abundance on this path. You need to be a lion. You need to roar when you need to roar, you know. Yeah, that voice inside you starts growing louder and louder and louder until it can't be suppressed anymore. And it says the light to fight the shadows. Hence, I was just about to say, hence what I've just been saying. That light, you know, we all have inside of us, but it's been hidden, it's been suppressed for that long. It's, you know, you've not been able to fight those shadows, but when that light starts cracking through and you start your awakening, that is the light rippling through, that is that light ready to, you know, create cracks and start seeping through and start breaking through those shadows that have been holding you back. You know, not totally eliminating the shadows, because you need the light and shadow. We need the light and the dark. That is the balance. It's finding that balance of the two, you know, not suppressing either of them, but finding that balance of the two. And on my twin flame path, and I'm going to speak about this because they're telling me to speak about it in another reading, it's the alchemical marriage. It's the balance of the two. It's the Heros Gammus, it's called, Heros Gammus. It's the alchemical marriage of the twin flame path. It's that balancing of the two divine feminine, of the two energies, divine feminine and divine masculine energies, coming into complete balance in union, in self, and then in the connection, and then rippling out into the world to, you know, to anchor unconditional love into this new golden age. So yeah, that light, you know, that light to fight the shadows. I've had light. I've got my light back. I've gone into those shadows, and some shadows I've seen, some shadows I didn't. You know, on this path you get everything thrown at you, so you know it can change from day to day. You never know what you're going to get on this twin flame path. I'm pretty used to it now, so whatever gets thrown at me, because I have healed, you know, my energies, my divine feminine and my divine masculine, they're in complete balance now, and I know that because I am talking about my journey. I am voicing my journey to help others on this path, because I know, and not also because I know, but because I'm guided on the twin flame path. I also know that others need this spiritual knowledge through all the suffering I've gone through to reach to this point. This knowledge was for a reason, that it came back to me, and it was to help others on their spiritual paths. And yeah, we fight everything. We fight family, we fight friends, we fight society's beliefs, we fight outsiders, we fight everybody. This path is a fight for your life at times. That is not being extreme. That is being real. I have been on my knees many times on this twin flame path. Why? Because it was meant to take me to my knees. It was meant to break me open, to show this light to others, to bring this light to others, to help them on their spiritual paths also, but the twin flame specifically. I'm reaching out to other twin flames out there who are just, you know, probably starting their journey, or yes, you know, in between their journey, just where I was when I found, or was divinely guided to find others to help me on my path. Yes, we're spiritual teachers on a path to finding our own light, yes, firstly, and balancing these beautiful energies out inside of us both to create, you know, union in ourselves and then union in this connection. Yeah, let's get back to the song. I knew this was not going to be a straightforward reading. It never is. And this path is never straightforward, they're telling me. And nothing is by coincidence. And it certainly isn't. Yes, so I did a shorter reading of this yesterday because I know TikTok, I'm just getting used to TikTok, and I'm getting used to social media. This is all new to me. This is that leap. This is that full card for me in tarot. I had to take that leap because my guides and my angels wanted me reaching out more globally to people and speaking about my experiences on my twin flame journey and helping others. Ultimately, this is what this path is about, is helping others and bringing that unconditional love frequency to others, you know, and opening hearts and bringing that light, you know, we have inside us. Once we've done the healing inside ourselves, then we bring that light to others. But yeah, I did a shorter reading on this because I'm trying to shorten the videos, but it's not happening. My guidance and my spirit guides come through the way they come through. Yeah, you know, and I know TikTok, you know, to grow your viewers and grow your followings, it's more of a scrolling and a quick, you know, look at the videos. But I'm all new to this. This is very, very new. I'm being very, very real because I don't know how to be anything else. But yeah, you know, to me, this channel is not about how many views, not about how many, you know, yeah, followers I can gain. It reaches the right people, is my divine knowing, you know. And if that reaches 200 people, 300 people, 2 people, then it's reaching out to the right people that it's meant to find, is what I'm saying, you know. But yes, creating a following and creating more of a spiritual group, yes, that is my goal. Ultimately, I want to reach out to as many people as possible. So, you know, if you can, please follow, share, you know, like this video. You know, truthfully, this channel is just about helping others. It's my authentic self, you know. I'm speaking of my authentic journey, the journey I've been on, and the journey I'm also on. And yeah, it's my divine path. It's a divine knowing. When you're twin flame, you know it's a divine path. So yes, so let's get back to the words. So these lyrics say, you've got the words to change a nation, but you're biting your tongue. Now, this is a message to thyself as well, you know, because as I've just been saying, I know I hold these beautiful gifts inside of me. I know I hold very, very powerful words because of the transformation and the healing I've done in self, and because of my divine knowing of who I am and who I've always been, you know, but it's just been suppressed. It's been hidden from me. And this lifetime is the lifetime. It rises. Divine feminine is rising, the energy, but also divine masculine. It's coming into balance, you know. That's that Eros Gamos, that alchemical marriage. That is the balance of the two powerful energies coming together to create harmonious balance for yourself and, you know, for Earth's ascension at this time. But yeah, you've got the words to change a nation, but you're biting your tongue. Yes, I was biting my tongue for many, many years. I was biting my tongue about being a twin flame because I didn't want to affect or hurt anybody with my spiritual knowing and my spiritual path. But because the calling is that big and the calling is that loud, sooner or later I knew I would be talking about it my Claires told, tell me this. I'm a seer. I see things happening before they happen. I've done this many, many times. No coincidences. It happens time and time again. I'm meant to know this knowledge. I'm meant to see what I'm meant to see to bring to others, and to also, myself, because you do on this path question it. If you're a twin flame, you do question this path because it's so out of the normal, out of this realm. You do question it. Your logic mind questions it, but there comes a turning point on this path where you can no longer question you are a twin flame. You can no longer question you are divinely guided. You can no longer question the light, the codes that you hold inside you. Your voice has to be heard. And this is the turning point for me. Is starting this channel. They said I had to go global. It was time to go global now. Now that seems so, ego thingy. It's not ego. I don't have ego. I've healed my ego. I've balanced that out. That was part of this journey, is going into the ego, the dark night. Going into all those shadows. That is the ego, and healing that. So at this point of my journey, it's just about the truth. It's about that knowing, that divine knowing that I've always known, but I was suppressing. So biting your tongue. Yeah, I have been biting my tongue because to guard others, basically, and some people wasn't ready for me to speak the truth. Same as Mary Magdalene. When she was speaking her truth, she got silenced. She got hidden. It got hidden. It was always going to come back. She is the returning prophet, and she was always going to return. That was, in this new golden age, the returning prophet, and her voice is returning through women like me, and many, many others on this Rose lineage path. Her voice is returning, and her teachings are returning through me and other people on this path. So, it says, you've got the words to change a nation, but you're biting your tongue. Yeah, we do have the words to change a nation. And again, I'll echo that. It's not ego, it's knowing. But we do bite our tongue, and we bite our tongue because of, that fear of being judged, of being silenced, of, and the patriarchy that's been around for many a time. We've been biting our tongue and suppressed for many a time, and now is the time for us not to bite our tongue. Now is the time for our voice to be heard. Now is the time the voices need to be heard. These teachings need to be heard. We all have that ability, to influence those around us. So I've been influenced by my spiritual teachers. I've been influenced by many, many people. Now, just going off track here, Tina Turner. Beautiful, beautiful, divine, feminine energy, but she also held a divine masculine energy. She was in control of her life. She was grounded. She was spiritual. She was nurturing. She was loving. She was a spiritual teacher. Her words echo around the world today, and they will echo for eternity. She is a spiritual teacher. Her path was a spiritual path, and her songs, again, going back to the music telepathy, the songs that angels, my guides, bring through to me, they all have deeper meaning. The songs are spiritual. Music is spiritual. It resonates with our soul. That vibration, the resonance, it touches us soul level. And Tina's songs touched me soul level. They got me through the hardest times of my life. And she's been very, very much a hero on my path, like to many millions around the world. You know, she is, yeah, our spiritual hero. You know, but yeah, I grew up listening to Tina Turner, and she was always a big part of my life and my music. And she's now become, you know, a part of my spiritual path. I'm practicing Buddhist, you know. So yeah, I do the chant, you know, I do the Namyo Renge Kyo chant. I'm practicing this beautiful, you know, path of mine because I was guided to. And yeah, Tina Turner very much part of my spiritual path and influenced me in many, many ways, and still influences me today, and she will for the rest of my life. Her words, her voice, her messages, you know, they're very, very spiritual. They hold a lot of power to them, you know, and healing, very much healing. So yeah, that was just off the cuff, but yeah, this is true. This is my life. This is the true, authentic me. I can't be anything other. When I started this channel, I knew it was authenticity, and that authenticity is so important, you know, because that is the light that I hold inside me, being that authentic spiritual self, you know, and that my voice will reach out to others by the authenticity and the truth, you know. I can't be anything other. I don't know any other way. So yeah, so let's get back to the song. And then this line really stood out to me. You have the light to fight the shadows, so stop hiding it away. Again, this twin flame journey is about bringing that light out inside of you, the divine light, the sovereignty, the you know, that's been hidden from you and also from, you know, others for, yes, lifetimes after lifetime. You know, it's been hidden, and that light finally, you know, has to come through. So stop hiding it away. Yes, I've stopped hiding away. I wouldn't be speaking about my journey. I wouldn't be so open about it if I did not have that divine knowledge and that transformation that I've gone through, and the knowing. It's a divine knowing of why you are going through it all and why you are put on this path, and because it's your path. It's been your path from coming here, you know. We're souls having a human existence. So my soul had that, my soul came here, you know, to awaken, to, yes, have a human existence, but to awaken up to my soul's divine essence, you know. I've been behind the veil, you know, and that is the way that it had to be. Because then you go through all the transformation, and, you know, that is where your true light starts shining through. It's meant to happen that way. My soul knew it was going to happen that way. And my twin flame soul also knows, you know, knew it was going to happen that way. So, yeah, and it says, get up, say something, make a change, be a light, change the world. And yeah, twin flames can change the world because of the frequency. You know, we retain that unconditional love back to us by all the transformation and this journey of what we go through. You know, the kundalini, the dark night, we transform all of that. It's the alchemical marriage, you know, it's that balancing of the divine feminine, divine masculine. So that is the transformation. That is the Heros Gamus, I shall pronounce it right. And that then brings our light back up, that surfaces fully. it has to be full. It has to be in balance, you know. It has to be fully in balance. No doubt, no. You cannot hide anything anymore on this path. You have to be fully authentic to self and to others. That is the only way of this path, you know. That is the true union in self and the union in this connection. Is that full authenticity that you come into, that divine knowing of self. And yeah, the light changes the world. Our codes change the world. Our codes lift the frequency of earth, that unconditional love frequency, you know. We go through all what we go through to bring that back to self, and then we share it out in union to others. You know, that is the ultimate journey. This is the twin flame path. So yeah, that was the automatic writing, but a lot more just channeled through, which I knew it would. So I pulled, well, I haven't pulled the cards yet. I have chosen the decks that I need to get messages out of. I know it before I come online. I can feel twin flame energy, very, very, very powerful, obviously, but very, very powerful since waking up this morning, coming through. So there's a message that needs to be heard. And this came out. And just about what I've been speaking about. Strike a chord together with gentle harmony, heartstrings, serenity, balance and match. Yeah. Yeah. That's all of that. This is we come from the heart. Our language is the heart, you know, everything comes from the heart. If you've been following me, you'll know that I speak of the heart, the rose path, you know, it's the heart. Everything is from the heart. Heartstrings, you know. We are connected at the heart. Balance, yes. Yes. Balance is the divine feminine energy, divine masculine energy coming into complete balance in self and then in this connection. That is the Heros Gamers, the alchemical marriage. And it says, strike a chord together with gentle harmony. Yes. Once you come into complete balance in the energies, you do strike a chord in complete harmony. That is the balance, you know, that is the harmonious balance. It's just what I've been saying. Any more from there? Nope, they're saying move on to the Rose Oracle. And lastly, a Mary Magdalene message, because Mary Magdalene has come through this morning for me also. On this twin flame path, you know, you don't just get one thing coming at you, you get many, many things coming at you. That's why I speak of it comes at you. It really does come at you. Because we are multidimensional also. It's that you get all sorts coming at you. Yeah, I've just got used to this path now. You have to. It's part of my path. It's my divine path. But so one rose, please. But yeah, I got a message from another reader this morning that I needed to hear about my Mary Magdalene path. You know, because I'm on it. I'm still on it. I'm still going through parts of discovery myself. You know, it's a long life path. It never ends. But I am at the stage where I am the teacher now. I am ready to voice all what I have been through for 7 years, maybe more. I'm not quite sure, but 7 years without a doubt. But I'm at that stage where my voice needs to be heard. I'm the teacher in me. You know, I've done the initiations, I've done all the healing. Not all the healing, you never do the healing, they're saying. But I've done the healing up until this point. But there's much, much more for me, you know, on this path. Still growing, still learning, but teaching. They're saying I'm at the higher master level now, that I can voice these teachings. The rose. The rose. They did say get a rose. Universe message, please. Oh, I'm going to go for that one because that worked out. There we go. So this is the bloom. The bloom. So creations realised, right time, harvest, celebrate. So yeah, you do. When you start to bloom and you start to open up and your petals, you know, start to well, not fall off, but yeah, that rose starts to bloom. You do start to realise you're creating, you know, you are creating a completely different life for yourself. You do come into harvest also, you know, this path path I'm on, yeah, I've been working so hard on it, healing myself for 7 years from day one, in my knowing of, you know, I'm on a divine path. I've been creating from day one, firstly through candles, and then it you know, escalated into other creations, and now the harvest time is here for me, you know, that harvest is coming in. I feel my timeline, my 2026 timeline is already here, and my timeline in 2026 is that harvest of all the work that I've done on this path, and all my abundance is coming in. I knew it would, because this divinely guided path, you know it's heading to something very, very abundant and very, very beautiful, you know that. So it's running into 40 minutes now. I'm trying to keep these shorter, but again, the message come out the way they come out. That's the authenticity of my channel. I can't shorten these messages, and it will reach the viewers it's meant to, you know. So yeah, I mean, my son keeps saying, "Man, your messages are too long. TikTok's a scrolling platform." But then I keep saying to him, "But son, the messages don't come from me." And he gives me that side eye look, you know, as if to say, "Where do they come from?" He's in his 20s, so he's like, but he knows I'm spiritual, he knows I'm clairaudience, he knows I'm all of that. But when I just speak it openly to him, he's like, "Okay, man," you know, he's still on his path. He's, you know, he's very spiritual himself, and being surrounded by me, obviously, brings out that side to him. But he's on his own path, you know, he's finding his own self. But yeah, the messages are the messages. I can't shorten it, and I apologise for people that want shorter videos. I really do, but I can't. This is my true voice coming through, you know. This is my spirit guide's voice is coming through. I say my voice, but it you know, yeah. Right, one Mary Magdalene card, please. I'm going to take that one because that's poking out. Oh, there's two. Ah, so we got, our truth is that which dwells in our hearts, not our heads. And I did say this earlier. Everything comes from the heart. The truth is in the heart. The truth of our divine self is in our hearts. It always has been. It's just been hidden and suppressed. But now is the time. The truth in our hearts is you know, coming back to us. Now is the time. Again, now is the time. And honour, I can't speak hardly. Honour and respect in love the partner you reflect in God's grace, for they are the kingdom of love as you are. And this one came out. Yeah, so to respect another is to respect self, you know. To respect self is to respect another. And to bring that grace to self, you know, you bring that grace to others. And to bring, you know, that love to self, you bring that love to others. And, you know, this card to me, it just speaks of we are one, you know. There's no separation. We are one. And what we are, they are, you know. So honour and respect in love the partner you reflect in God's grace, for they are the kingdom of love as you are. And yeah, this twin flame connection, they are you, you are them, in all of God's grace, you know. It is a spiritual divine connection. And yes, you do go through it on this path, but ultimately, you know that this connection is higher. It's higher love. It's divine. Yeah, and it's God's grace, you know. Yeah, so I think I'm going to leave it there. Any more, or shall we leave it? No, I'm going to leave it because, yeah, that's it. I can feel it. That's it. That's the message. So, yeah, I hope this reaches out to who it's meant to. 1, 2 viewers. Yeah, and again, you know, this channel will reach out to who it's meant to. My voice will find that verse path to who it, you know, it's meant to lead back to, and who's meant to hear my voice. And not my voice, but, you know, Mary Magdalene's voice, as we are one. Right. I shall speak to you all soon, and have a lovely day.